All right. Hello, everybody. I'm Jonathan with the Balloon Guild, and I am here with Miss Tabitha Miller from Balloon. What's your business name?
Animated Art Balloon Decor.
Animated Art Balloon Decor. And we get to spend a little bit of time chatting with her. I'm going to preface this by saying I have water leaking through the roof of my garage right now, coming from an air handler. So if I get a call, I'm going to pass my phone off, hopefully to a family member who can get it from the AC man. Hopefully, that's just a little side note. Anyways, I'm excited to have you, Tabitha, on to, first of all, I'm excited for the recipes that you've given us. They are definitely different. We have the biplane that we have used. We had a lot of people asking for a plane, so it's come in just in time. And then we have a nice big star topper situation made with foil balloons and a latex in the middle, which is very unique. I haven't seen that one, to be honest with you. And then we put your base building, not recipes, SOPs is what I'm calling
Yeah,
them. We put that one in there, and I'm currently building your crawfish boil, or how do you say it? Because it's not
it's
the way I
crawfish.
say it.
You did well. It's a crawfish pie.
Okay, but you used a different word than I do. When I say boil, you say pronounce that word for me.
Yeah, crawfish boil.
Bull. Okay, a little different. I think my I's more pronounced. Um, okay, so where are you from? Where do you live?
I service Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Our shop is located in Walker, Louisiana, but 98% of my business is in Baton Rouge.
Okay. That's a big city, right?
It's a
How
mediocre city,
how long does
about as
it take
big as
you to
Paducah,
Paducah? Is that where Melissa
Melissa.
lives in?
Yeah,
Oh, so how close are you to her?
not at all. But
Oh,
I was
okay.
laughing because Melissa makes it sound like she's from such a small town. And I was going up that way and I was looking around. I was like, that's Paducah. And I zoomed in. I'm like, that's a whole metropolis. That's a city. It's got skyscrapers.
They
That's
have
not a
like,
backwoods.
oh, yeah, because I thought there was like one red light and
That's
like two
where I
stop
grew up. My
signs.
high
Okay,
school was in the middle of a cow pasture.
really? Have you
Promise.
ever gone cow tipping?
And mud riding. And on one of our first dates, we hit two roadkills with me and my husband. That's how he knew I was a keeper because I
Were they
immediately
road
downshifted
kills
and whooped around.
before or after you hit them?
Oh, after.
Okay. You're not just out there running over animals. That would,
No.
yeah, you would lose goodie points if that's what happened. Um, wow, I've never been cow tipping. Almost one time when I was a young punk. But so you met your husband like how long ago?
We're actually going to celebrate our 20-year wedding anniversary this October.
So you were like 10 years old or something then.
Oh, I wish. No, but I was definitely 19 when we met
Wow. All right.
at the
Well,
Texas
that's
Club
awesome.
dancing. It was fun.
Congratulations on almost 20. Um,
Congratulate
what's
him for surviving all this.
what is your situation like? You have children at home? Are they little kids, big kids? What's the
Yeah, so I have a 17-year-old son. He graduated high school this past May, a year early, because he wants to be a welder. He's going to start welding college this August. And he actually, where we moved 3 years ago to our big shop, my neighbor is a fabricator. So he actually works next door for his company. And he does the welding, grinding, and all that. And so he's a pretty cool kid, very knowledgeable, very funny, very entertaining. And my daughter is 12. She's very shy and reserved and doesn't really care. They're very much polar opposites. She likes quiet and being by herself. And so she's a super sweet kid, very kind, the kindest person I've ever met.
okay? So your 17-year-old, is he going to be moving out, or since he's working right next door, going to be staying at home?
I hope he stays at home through college. I'm not ready to lose him. He definitely brings a lot of laughter and life to the house. So
Yeah. My
I hope he
son
stays at
might.
home for a while and saves up and is smart and, manages his money wisely. We're guiding him and, it's a real
Yeah,
exciting time to watch him go from that childhood state to being a young adult.
yeah, yeah. I agree. I have a 17-year-old who is going to be 18 in like 6 months, and I
Mm.
realize like he's like this time next year he's going to be probably going somewhere. Like
Right.
I don't know. It just I have two kids that are already out of the house, but for me, as much as I mean, I love them like my own children, but they've been stepdaughters and they were half in, half out of our house, like custody wise, the whole
Hmm.
time. So when them leaving, it's like I'm used to you going and coming, but my son has been with me all the time since
Hmm.
day one. Anyways, it's a weird feeling to think about. So
I know. I'm not ready. And I don't
yeah,
think he
so
is either. He doesn't pick up after himself well. Like he still has a lot of skills to
there
develop.
is hope. I have a daughter who, you know how you have to pick your battles. We did not fight the battle of your room needs to, I need to see the floor. Like we didn't
Right?
pick that battle, but I will tell you, she is a very clean person as an adult in her own home.
That's
So
good.
there's hope. Um, okay, so let's talk balloons. What made you get into balloons?
I actually I went to I was I grew up in a very small town and I attended a construction camp and we wired a building and the light came on. So I thought, oh wow, as a ninth grader, this is really cool. So I started attending a trade school real young for electrical and instrumentation. I went to college for instrumentation and graduated with my associate's degree. And around that time, I had it like Cole was 2 or so. We went to the New Orleans Zoo for Earth Day, and there was a lot of giggles. And I was like, "What is that? What is that?" And it was face painting. And little did I know it was like Mark Reed, Nick Wolf, Brian was still alive then, Pasher was there, Mark Reed, just all these amazing artists painting, raising money for the Ronald McDonald House. I just was like, wow, that's what I want to do for the rest of my life. And my husband's like, you have a college degree. I don't even think face painting is a real job. And so I learned face painting. I went to the FABEC and came back and did that for a long time and learned twisting. And then in 2016, World Balloon Convention came to New Orleans. And I was like, well, it's for work. I gotta go. So I went down there and my life pivoted. I said, wow, I've never seen decor on this scale because it wasn't around Louisiana at all. I'm one of the OGs. And I came back home and I said, Aaron, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Oh my God, this is amazing. I really want to spread joy and happiness with balloon decor. And so 2016, I found it. I would say by 18, 19, I was well known. I was doing some big stuff. And then 20, we all shut down for COVID. And I pivoted because I had attended Summit and Gary had showed me the pipe bender. And so I was able to build some yard numbers and stuff. And man, we just skyrocketed. It was crazy. It was quite a ride. And then during COVID, we started doing outdoor balloon decor. And all my foils were popping. And I was staying up late. We didn't have employees. We were overworked. I got burglarized. Is that where they take your belongings out of your vehicle? They took my purse the morning of my daughter's kindergarten graduation, and I like lost it. I called Joette. I'm like, I'm done. I was like dying, crying, and I was gonna leave the industry, and she's like, nope, nope, nope. I have the answers. Join me in Mastermind. And I joined Mastermind and went to Summit, and that was another pivotal moment in my balloon career. I learned so much and was able to move our family to a home on 10 acres, and it's just been the wildest ride.
Yeah, right on. I think we was it Summit or have you gone to Float? Like where did we meet? I think I had to been Summit.
I so 16 I found World Balloon and 17 they had float. So I went in 17 and I think that was the year they did 17, 19, 20. But I haven't missed a float since I found balloon decorating. So
Yeah.
I've been there.
Okay. So, well, that's so you there had to have been a lot more to make you want to quit than just your purse getting stolen.
Oh yeah. My outdoor spoils were exploding. Um, I didn't know why. And it was, we live in Louisiana, and I would inflate inside in the air condition and bring it out in 100-degree weather, and they would explode. And I was like, what am I doing wrong? I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know a whole lot. So it was challenging to say the least. But
Yeah.
I was able to get a lot of skills. I got a website, got um, just the skills to help manage a business and grow a business. I remember on the way to Summit, because I was a face painter, I would just write down what event I had, if they paid, all that in a notebook. I was record keeping in a notebook. And so on the way there, I was showing somebody, and they're like, no, man, that's not how you do business. You need a CRM, you need systems. And I was like, I don't have that. I don't know anything about it. I came from the industrial world. I don't know how to business.
Right on. So what did you want to do with your degree? You said you wanted to get into electricity and stuff, like you
Yeah,
wanted to be.
I can so I learned electrical, but I thought that electrical and instrumentation are taught hand in hand. And when we got to the instrumentation portion, you could control flow, level, temperature. Like, I just really enjoy problem solving. I enjoy those more technical skills, the conversions, the mathematics, how to control all that, what takeoffs you need, and so I just found it more interesting. So I went into instrumentation. I worked in Exxon. I worked on the, Far East Coker turnaround. I ran um, instrumentation loops, which is, how can I explain that simply? It's a series of electrical information where you could adjust um, the output here, and it would give you a reaction in your valves or a reaction in temperature to control the viscosity. Like, I just found all that really interesting. So
Sure.
that's the direction I went.
So you're a little bit of a nerd. I dig it. Right. Okay. What else did you do? So did you go straight out of high school into college and then from college to, you said Exxon?
Yeah.
Did you have jobs between?
I worked at O'Reilly Auto Parts. I worked at 14 or 12. I was working at the Baton Rouge Raceway. And then, because again, I'm from Pride, we're in the middle of a cow pasture, very country. I went to the Baton Rouge Raceway. I knew about that. I learned about cars. I was raised by my dad. And so I was always on tools. I was always helping him work on whatever it is. And so that's why I think that one summit, it might have been you and Fudge and Tommy and just everybody that you ever wanted to sit at a table. And we went to dinner, and y'all were giving me the best business advice. But Gary was about to start with tools. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I hate to leave, but I want to go play with the tools. Oh, wow. And I just
Yeah.
remember pinching myself going, did you just leave the table with everybody that ever wanted to tell you how to business? And you have no idea. And then you're going to play with tools. But I'm so glad I did. It was so great to meet Gary and get to
Yeah.
know him through the years. And it's been a lot of fun. I appreciated being on his team at Balloon University. And so it's been a great ride.
Right on. Cool. Um, when did you start the face painting? Were you face painting while you were working at like Exxon and stuff like that?
No, my husband and I were dating, and I came home with the Mana goggles and poker and all that. And he was like, so if we're going to get married and have babies, you can't work in a plant because all that stuff is not good to grow a human inside of you. And I was like, okay. And so then I left the plants, and I went and found a piping office that needed a manager. So I learned how to do, office work and management. And I was always really good at computers and Excel and all that. So I did go into the more office realm. And then I found face painting, and I was like, that's what I want to do. And my husband was like, I don't know. Is that a job? I don't know. And so turns out I was number one Baton Rouge entertainer in Baton Rouge, voted for Parents Magazine 3 years in a row. So that was great. I got up to 5 restaurants. So one a week, and then, you work on the weekends, and I was getting super burnt out, but I loved it so much. I love to spread joy. So Joy was like, can you stop face painting and just focus on balloon decor? That's going to make you a lot more money. I'm like, but I love it. And then COVID happened, and I was forced to stop. So
Yeah. Feel you on that one. Okay. Super interesting. I know I keep harping on this a little bit. You jumped straight into face painting full time, or was there like
um,
a transition period?
so when I went to Fabaic, I came back, and you know this about me, I take action immediately.
Right.
So I thought I wanted to face paint in March. In May, I went to Vivek, got the right classes, the right tools, the right products. I have the right techniques now. And so I was like, all right, well, now I need to practice. So I went out to my local restaurant and I was like, hi, your kids' night's on Tuesday and you need a face painter. And he was like, no, 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 I have a balloon twister. It's fine. And I was like, no, face painting is amazing. Transforms the kid, really going to draw in an extra crowd. You really need me at your restaurant. He was like, okay, fine, come on in. And so I got that restaurant, and then somebody that had come in there had a different restaurant, and they hired me. So and that allowed me to practice as a new face painter weekly with different designs, and allowed me to grow my skill set, and plus handing out cards. And the more you work, the more people see you, the more they hire you. So it definitely escalated very quickly.
Okay, cool. It's just a big shift from a manager position at a company, office manager, whatever, to face painting.
I know my husband thought the same thing. It's
Well,
like,
he sounds like he supported you, so that's a good
yeah.
situation. Okay, awesome. So you had mentioned a couple of things. You had mentioned Balloon Boss Summit, you had mentioned Joette, and those are two things that are in the same realm. And you're teaching there this year, correct?
Yes, I'll be on staff again this year.
Okay.
Excited about it.
And who is bringing you to Summit?
Uh, Sempertex, Vitalik, this way. Whoop,
Yes.
Vitalik,
Right
Sempertex.
on.
Yay!
Yeah, that's exciting. Do you already know what you're going to be teaching about?
Oh, we had the best brainstorm session about all the designs I ever wanted to make, and I'm so excited to help people. I'm going to make the recipes, and then, oh, it's going to be so great. We're going to make all the things that I've ever wanted to make, and I love that Joanne gives us that opportunity to grow.
Okay, so it sounds like you can't tell us.
Yeah, it's in a, I don't know exactly what I'm gonna get approved on, but with
Yeah,
Joette,
okay.
I asked to do things, and I'm like, here's another one you could tell me no on, but I hope you don't. Here's what I want to build. And she'll be like, oh, that's cool. And so we just have to work on placement where I can put all the things that I want to make.
Yeah, but I'm talking about what are you teaching on?
Oh,
Like, I think
technique,
those are separate,
structure.
right? Like
Uh,
I get to build something and then I get to teach on something else, right?
I don't get stage time.
Oh, okay.
I'm not really, I'm really I could improve on my stage presence, and so I think that I'm putting time out
What?
for a minute.
Why do you say that? I've seen
Um
you on stage. It's not something I would have said.
um well, the first year I ran off stage because I got really nervous, and the second year I was better. I was better. I did better on the second year. I don't know. I guess she has to rotate speakers.
Yeah,
I just
that's
know
for
that I
sure.
can always improve, and you know.
Yeah. Everybody can. All right. Well, I'm excited that you're going to be there nonetheless. It wouldn't be the same without you. So, dang. So then how did Vitalik contact you so you're literally building something. You're there just to build stuff then.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
I'm
that's
gonna help.
fun.
Hey, Leah Luna said tools with tab was amazing. I really
Yes.
like, so now, Leah, you understand my background with tools. Like, I love tools. I get excited about it. And so that's why Joette was like, hey, we need to have a female up on stage doing tools. So that's kind of where my specialty lies. And that's why I enjoy, like, I went into instrumentation. Like, literally, I use tools. So I really enjoy them. And I didn't realize that wasn't a normal thing, because it's something I've always done because I was raised by my dad. And so she was like, no, it really, like, I'm so proud of Jamie Chris. She's like, her introductory story with tools was hilarious, but she's gotten so much better. And I was able to give a lot of other female balloon artists confidence in using tools. So that was really fun. So I hope to do that again, just not on, the stage, just in private groups.
Yeah, it's all good. I thought you did a great job though. So, and it was fun. And sometimes that energy where it's like, I feel like I'm either going to throw up on you or this is going to be amazing. Sometimes that's like the sweet spot to be in, as long as you don't actually, throw up
Yeah,
on
I
me.
haven't thrown
Some-
up on anybody, so that's a win.
It's always good. I just tell the people in the front row, you're in the splash zone if I'm really nervous. So just be ready. Okay, so let's talk about your business. Like, do you have employees? Do you work with your kids? Like, how does that
I
Good for
can't
you.
get my kids to work. I don't know. We're gonna have to talk after this to see how you get yours to work. But no, my son will go do pickups and he will, deliver things. He just doesn't like making things pretty, but he'll help when I need him. My daughter is not interested at all. But we have employees. We have Morgan in there. She's been with me for 2 years, two and some change. Claire's been with us this year. We have Kami that her first week was bid day week last year where we had 11 sororities. So bless her, she's still with me. I didn't run her off that week. She's still hanging around. And I feel like we have one more. But we have a smaller staff right now, but I feel like we're more efficient with a smaller staff. I had up to 7 employees, and that was too many for me. I'd love to have one more like office assistant, but I haven't found the right person yet. So we're still looking. But when I worked at my old house before we moved, before I had lunch with Diana in Holland, I had 1 or 2 employees and they would have to go through the house, and my husband didn't care for that. And so my balloons would always go in the living room in front of his scotch, and he was like, "You need your own space." And so I think it was 2020 when I went to Summit. Happened to go to lunch with Diana in Holland, and I didn't know them at all. And they were like, "Well, tell me about yourself. How you doing?" I'm like, "I'm doing so great. I build out of my garage. It's always in the house. Life is good. I'm doing great. I have a minivan and a Ford Transit where the minivan I put a hitch on it so I can pull a trailer. We're doing awesome." And she's like, "All right, well, it's time to move out of your house. You're invading your husband's space, your children's space." And they were very kind of blunt with me. And I needed it, but I didn't know them. So it made me really uncomfortable. And I went back and I prayed and I talked to my husband about it. My husband had been showing me this property on 10 acres with a shop. And he begged me, he's like, "If you will move, I will make this shop where you can run your business out of it." And he did. We worked tirelessly for 2 or 3 months making the shop to where we can use it for work. We made walls, we learned how to frame, I learned how to sheetrock my office, we did electrical, we brought in a modad, we just really invested about 30,000 in making this shop operable for my business, and it was the best decision. We are very thankful and grateful for the space.
Yeah, that's cool. So what do you
And
need?
for the friends listening, I would like to encourage you to think about doing that, because I want to share with you the way we structured our finances for that. We had an old house note, and our new house note is more. So Animated Art pays rent for the difference. So it didn't affect my family's budget, and it's probably half the amount of money that I'd have to pay for rent if I had a space in the city. And so it is a way for you to grow and take on that. I mean, yes, animated art has to bring in money, but I knew, like, sales showed me that we weren't going to be slow. And so that's the way we structured this move. And so if nobody's thought about that and they're growing out of their house, that's a definite awesome solution for you.
So what you mentioned a little bit that your sales showed you. What were you looking for to feel financially safe with making that decision?
My if I looked at my expenses plus my salary, I need to clear 10,000 a month for all of the things to feel comfortable. And we average about 30,000. So that
Okay.
gives me enough finances for my employees, for my vans. We actually in 2021 bought a second Ford Transit in cash, no note. So we're very grateful, and I've put things in place to ensure that we're going to continue to grow and continue to get that business. We've got a website with SEO. We work on our Google business. We network. Like, we do all the things to ensure that we're going to continue to be front of mind. We're going to continue to be the best of the best here in Baton Rouge.
Sure. What do you find brings in the most business of all the things that you do? If you had to pick, let's say, your top 3 marketing parts.
Social media presence. I do our Instagram, and really Instagram is a great platform for balloon decor because our art is so visual. You are able to see the impact. Word of mouth for referral for doing a good job. I always follow up. Excellent customer service, excellent product. I may not be the cheapest because I do have rent and insurance and all the expenses, but we also provide an excellent service for that, and our designs are always the best.
You all right? Okay. So right now, just for the other people, you're in your shop now, right?
Yeah,
Okay. I was just making sure if you needed to take care of something or
I
whatever.
I overheard them talking. I'm not sure if I need to step away. They'll come in if I need
Yeah.
to.
Okay, so how do you operate with your people? Like, what does it look like to be Tabitha Miller for a day?
Busy. Um, First thing in the morning, I make coffee, go on the back porch, and we do Instagram in the morning, and then we come to work. If it's Monday, we're doing follow-ups. We are putting that data on our accrual sheet. We're doing the bookkeeping. And then and my staff comes in Monday morning, and you guys run a balloon business. You know, Mondays are cleanup days, or at least for me. So we go out and install all weekend, throw whatever we bring back in the shop. So on Mondays, we're resetting. We are cleaning up the shop. We're cleaning out the vans. We're resetting our install kits. We have SOPs for all that, check boxes. Okay, we need these things here and these things there. Refilling the water jugs. And then around 10 o'clock, they're like, all right, well, come on out. We're ready for our company meeting. And every Monday, we have a company meeting. And what we do is we review our past installs for the last week. What went well? Because not everybody goes on every install. And if you had problems, how did you solve it? What did you encounter? Because I feel like group mentality, we can all learn from anybody's, like, what did I do recently? I ran into I went on an install. I had two installs Monday morning. And Monday morning, when I got to Baton Rouge, the bottom fell out, raining like cats and dogs. Well, I had a yard number and a grand opening. And they were like, well, how'd you handle that? Because the yard numbers go out early for the birthday kids. I was like, basically, I pulled up in front of her house and I called her and I was like, hi, your balloon decor would be so much happier if we wait until after the rain, because what happens is it dries up, they fuse together, the wind blows and they pop. So I have a grand opening around the corner. Let me go set that up and I'll come back. The rain should have passed by then. And they were like, oh, that's great. We can call the client and tell them that. I'm like, absolutely. It's much better than jumping out in the rain and their stuff getting all wet, not having the best experience possible. Now, if they said, no, I want it out there, well, you've warned them. But my employee went to go pick up that yard number today on Wednesday and it wasn't popped. I was very impressed. We did a bunch of neons. And then I went and did the grand opening. I got there early because I didn't have time for the first install. So they were excited to see me. Got done with that and they were under an overhang. So then went back, set up the yard number. And so just explaining to the staff on the installs that I go on, if I encounter any problems and how I handle it, I hope that they retain that. And if they encounter any problems, it'll be a tool in their tool chest. So we go over all that, how to go, those kind of things. And then, hey, here's our upcoming events. Here's something special about this event. This week we have Brock Rock and Wine, which is a big fundraiser, and we're making a guitar, and I'm hanging iridescent bubbles from the ceiling in the VIP area, and I am doing this amazing entrance that's Audi is going to be the sponsor of. So I want LED lighting in there and I want this and I want that. So we go over the details of each invoice. I have it on there, but just to kind of give them a visual of what I'm visualizing. And then the orders that need to be made go up on production. And we also have a person in inventory who pulls all of the product for all of the orders. So when production goes over to the upcoming shelf, they pull the client bucket and everything they need to build it is in there. So they bring their bucket to the table, they build the things, they know the vision, we label it, we have a place where they initial who built what to A, make sure it's built, and B, if I have a question, I know who to ask. And so they build the things, we call it the swamp. We put it in the swamp and then put the bucket on the outgoing shelf. And we just go on through that week, whoever's going to be off, we're just really good at communicating those things and scheduling. When we built my office, Holland gave me some really good advice. She said to insulate the ceiling of the walls and get an exterior door. So that way, if I ever need to have a conference in my office, that the sound doesn't travel from production to in here. And we put up these two big windows in my office, and we have my office door. So we have, our schedule of who's going where, what time, when. And we have a system in my company where if it's on a blue sticky note, it's an install, and a purple sticky note is a pickup. And so you're able to look on whatever day and you can say, well, I have 2 installs and a pickup. And we use dry erase markers, who's going where, and we talk about that on Monday so that everybody knows what to expect that upcoming week. And we just kind of roll through the week like that. This Monday, I brought them out to lunch. We went and had Mexican because this past week we had a client that had a series of 5 different events. So that was 5 different installs with 5 different pickups. And then within each event, we moved stuff around, and it was just a lot amongst celebration of lives and birthdays and all the things we had last week. So this Monday we brought them out to lunch, but we just try to treat them as a place they want to come back and work. Like, we're real kind, real fun, and have a good time. It's a
Right.
good environment, and we have payroll. So tonight I'm going to run payroll, and they get direct deposit every 2 weeks. I utilize paychecks, and it's been the best for me. I've only been doing payroll like a year and a half, and my first payroll cycle was tough because I didn't realize that the employer also pays the same amount of taxes as the employees combined. So that hurt for a minute. I had to breathe, think about it, and adjust some pricing to accommodate for that. But really, really happy that we have that. And then through Paychecks, they offer a retirement program that my employees, yeah, it's an employee retention benefit. After 6 months, they have the opportunity to participate in a retirement program. So they're building their future as well. And it's an employee match up to 3%. So it's a good benefit.
So you work in an office? Like, what do you do mostly? I know, like, that was a really good rundown of how your company operates, which I like a lot. But what do you personally do? You obviously, it sounds like you lead the meetings with the employees. Are you in charge of the scheduling in your company?
Yeah, we work on scheduling, and we work on, I do sales. Right now, we're about to swap over to Serenity CRM. One moment. All right. Are you done? Are you coming in tomorrow? Are y'all fully done? Uh-huh. So we all get off tomorrow? Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah, totally. Enjoy your vacation. All right. Um, sorry. So I am in sales right now. I had somebody in sales, and we had a personality conflict, and so we haven't filled that position. But I do sales a lot and enjoy having an idea of what's going on, who's coming up, what's coming up. So I'll do the sales, I'll do the admin stuff. My employees get a $10 bonus each if they do an install within the time frame that I give them without me being there, as an encouragement for me not to be there.
Okay.
And so I have to document and track that. And then what else? Just a lot of sales, ordering the product, ordering inventory. We need to do that coming up. Google Calendar, all the things.
Okay. That's cool. I was just trying to get a feel because I know some people have office teams who does all that work and they like to build stuff and they just have employees to support them, building to support their balloon habit, whatever. And then other people are hands off with the balloons most of the time and step in when they need to, which that kind of
That's
sounds
me.
like where you're at.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. All right, so we're gonna see you at Summit. And I'm excited that and it like sounds like it's gonna be, you just get to build stuff, which is the best part anyways. That's the fun stuff.
right?
So I'm excited to see you there. But one thing that we do on these interviews, we'll do this now, and then afterwards, if anybody has questions for you, then they're welcome to chime in, ask them. But before that, I have 20 questions. We were originally trying to time this to see how quickly we could get it done, but I kind of peppered in some like for real deal questions, not just play ones. So timing it kind of, once Chris Adamo hit like 10 minutes, I'm like, yeah, this isn't 20 questions in 2 minutes kind of a thing. So we don't time it anymore. And then I've changed it for you, and I'll start with the first question, which is just for you only. Your favorite tool?
My favorite tool is going to be the portavan. Everybody needs a portavan. It changes your life.
Portavan with a V or a B?
B as in boy.
What is a portavan?
Woo! It cuts EMT like butter. It's a portable bandsaw. So it's a tiny
Oh,
saw
okay.
about like that, and it has
Yeah,
a circulating blade, and you cut EMT with it, and it changes your life.
it does. I have one. I just didn't know what it was called. And I bought it because I saw Gary use it or you use it or something at Summit. And it does, because I don't remember the last time I've hand
Oh, oh,
cut
those
a
things
piece
are
of
so mean. It's so bad.
They're great. It's bonkers. So yes, I agree. That's a very necessary tool. That's your favorite one.
Yes.
What was your favorite one before that? I'm just curious at your tool, your life with tools. How has it changed?
Um, we got more tools. That's how it changed. I built my husband his own shop, and he has more tools in there, and it's fun.
What does
Um,
he do?
he is a Baton Rouge fireman, but he really enjoys woodworking. And so we have
Okay.
a lot of woodworking tools, planers, and then they also weld in there. So we got a big welding machine and do all kinds of stuff.
Dang. All right. All right. Favorite color?
Purple and teal,
All right. I like it. What's your favorite food?
sushi,
Favorite dessert?
tiramisu.
Tiramisu. Okay. Do you have a favorite movie?
No, I don't watch TV.
You don't watch TV?
Maybe Green Mile. One time I watched that.
All right. What about books? Do you read or listen to them? What's your favorite
No,
one?
but I just got a book on Prime Day, and I'm excited to read it. Maybe if I can stay still long enough. This is Donald Miller, Building a Story Brand. So I hear the best
Okay.
way to build your brand is by telling your story, and I don't have that under lock and key. So maybe I'll read this.
Okay. Well, Nicole B said great book, so I'm assuming that she has read it. You'll have to tell me how it is. Um, okay. Let's see. What's your favorite holiday?
Fourth of July was really fun. Joette came
Okay.
into town, and I got to do all the things I wanted.
Yeah. Did she show up to your shop and work there?
She no, we went to her Airbnb around the corner, and did we do a tour at my shop? We may or may not have. I don't really remember.
No, that was
I don't
like
think
only
so.
a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah, but a lot of things have
I
happened.
know
As
you
you
said you've
know, I
been
work a
busy, so I'm
lot.
just giving you a hard time. What's your favorite? I don't know how to phrase this. So maybe texture is the word. Favorite texture of balloon or balloon type.
Chrome and
Chrome?
shiny.
I think you meant reflex, Mila,
Yeah,
not chrome. They don't exist anymore.
you're
Or
right. I did mean reflex.
and
Thank you
now
for
that
that
you're a
redirect.
metallic Sempertex girl, you got to remember these terms.
You're right.
Yes. I still work on people in my shop because we're like 80% Sempertex, I think, maybe a little bit more. And I still see every now and then come up on our Google Calendar, chrome purple. I'm like, yeah, so I have to tell my office team, like, just so you know, like, I know it's the same. I know what you're talking about, but we really need to start using different terms because we're going to get a new person who has no idea what that is once they're all gone. Okay. weirdest job you've ever had, and I want this answered in two ways. One, just the weirdest job you've ever had, weirdest thing you've ever done for money. That's one way. And the second thing, the weirdest balloon job. So two.
Oh, well, I had two weird balloon jobs, but I
I
don't
mean,
know.
I'll take them both. Just that'll
Okay.
be fine.
So one time I was on the way to Lafette, which is that face and body art convention in New Orleans, and a client called and they were like, "Hey, at last minute, I need a balloon garland for this drag show." And I just happened to have the balloons and an inflator with me. And I was like, "Okay, well, I mean, I guess I can arrive late to Lafette because I was going early anyway. And yeah, I can come. Is there a space that I can inflate?" And she's like, "Yeah." I said, "Okay, great. I'm gonna come." And so I came and all the drag people were getting ready and I learned so much. I didn't know all the things they put on and wear and do. And I was like, is this real life? Am I watching and build
Yeah.
it? Wow, this is crazy. So that was fun. And then this
Okay.
past weekend, we had a celebration of life where we went and put up balloons, but the widow was there watching us and underneath us. And we are joyous. And I didn't know if I was supposed to be joyous at that moment. It just felt weird.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, that would be
It was awkward. And
yeah.
then my follow-up was really funny this morning because generally our tagline is thanks for letting us help celebrate life's best moments. And I was like, backspace. Hi, I'd love to see any photos that you may have from the event. No,
Yeah.
backspace. We look forward to celebrating with you next time. No, backspace. Like the whole follow-up was really weird.
Yeah. You got to be a little more careful on that one. Don't let AI do all the work for you. Um,
Oh,
okay, if you could meet one person ever of all time, who would that person be?
Channing Tatum.
Oh, okay. There you go. No need to ask why on that one. If you could spend a day anywhere, where would you spend it? That's right, Nicole. She was real quick on that answer.
He has property down in New Orleans. It's possible.
Okay,
Um, I would love to go to New Zealand or Australia.
okay. All right, back to the Channing Tatum one. I don't know what he's like as a real human, but I bet if you started Instagramming like Channing, all of this decor could be your like start throwing his name on some of your social media posts in a fun way. You might, who knows? Okay. This is one of my favorite questions because I'm just very curious. What was your favorite toy growing up?
When we were little, I had a lathe kit from like Home Depot or something, a little
Uh,
toy lathe kit, and I thought that was so
okay.
cool.
So you were tools like early. Like,
Uh-huh.
did you play with dolls ever?
Um, Not really. Again, we grew up real poor. Um, so no, not really.
Okay, it's all good. Um, so you might, I feel like this isn't going to be a surprise. When you were little, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Probably a vet.
A vet. Okay,
Yeah.
that like animal doctor.
Yeah, because we had chickens and rabbits and whatever else I'd bring home.
Okay, right on. When did you grow out of wanting to be a vet and rather be like a nuclear engineer or whatever?
Um, I guess when we wired the building and the light came on, thought it was cool as all get out. I was like, huh,
Yeah,
let's
I
do
get
that
it.
again.
Okay. Do you listen to podcasts? If so,
Yeah,
what's your favorite one?
Sarah,
Yes. Boom. Good
Bright
answer.
Balloon.
Yes. What type of music do you listen to?
Um, it depends on what mood. Like if I'm in production, probably Avril Lavigne. If I'm riding around, going from job to job, today's country, rock and roll, something like that.
Okay. Do you have any bucket list items? Like one thing you want to do before you kick it?
I want to do the confetti in Times Square.
Okay. I mean, we know people that could potentially make that
I,
happen.
I would love that to potentially happen because I've emailed and I've tried, but I'm
Okay.
gonna keep trying.
Yeah,
But I
don't
just
ever
think it'd
give
be
up.
so magical and so pretty.
Yeah. All right. Um, what would be your spirit animal?
Tabitha means antelope, which is like bouncy. I don't know.
That's what your name means, Tabitha?
Yeah, I
Antelope?
think so. Hmm.
Okay,
That's what I
interesting.
remember.
So, do you know why you were named Tabitha?
Because Bewitched was on in the labor and delivery room, and Samantha's daughter's name is Tabitha. And it was
Really?
between that or Jamie, who is Gilligan's real name. I was born in the 80s, boo.
No, I got you, but they didn't know what they were going to name you before going to give birth.
Mm-mm.
Wow, that's really interesting. Because I would think you would be like, isn't that something that you were excited about when you were having a baby, is thinking of names and
Um, well, back in the day, there was a lot of drugs, and I'm just really excited I wasn't aborted. I'm an only kid, and
yeah, you're an
we
only
just kind of
child.
roll with that.
Okay.
My dad, his second wife, second, one, two, three, second wife left him when I was, I don't know, 10 or 11, and that's when I took over the bills and started paying for all the things, and just grew up real fast.
So what were you doing at 11 years old to make money? You said
Um,
you took over
we
the
had a
bills?
lawnmower business, and he would check me out of work, out of school, and go mow lawns, and I'd weed eat, and I'd blow the stuff off, and I'd be a support staff, and
All right.
because all the money would stay in the house, and we could buy groceries.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I get it. Okay. Well, you got to do what you got to do. Um, so if you could go back in time and give yourself one piece of advice, what would that be? The last few questions are ones that are a little bit deeper than just little
Yeah.
stuff.
Nothing. I think I did really well. I'm a lot better off than my parents, so I'm pretty happy, thrilled,
Okay.
thrilled with how we're rocking it.
All right. So,
Grateful for all the opportunities that I've had.
all right. If you could rule the world and change and make one rule that would go into effect and it would happen, what would that be? If you could change one thing,
Not really great at following rules. Um,
you could make one thing different in the world and it would be different, like it not just a hope and a dream, but definite.
um, Less trash. I don't like going hiking and seeing trash everywhere. So I guess less pollution, less trash, less environmentally stuff.
There is a way where people never littered.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it. Um, if you could know the day that you're gonna die, would you want to know it?
Yeah.
Okay, why?
So I could do all the things
Okay,
and not say, well, I'll do them later. Because like right now, our end game is in 7 years when my husband retires, my business will be on the market for sale unless I have somebody that'll manage it, but I doubt. And so then I will travel the world. And if I
okay,
knew I was going to die in like, 8.5 years, we might kind of like push that sooner.
yeah, right on. Okay, one of the most important questions that I have almost lost friendships over, depending on how you answer. And there's only one answer that would cause that. If the sorting hat was put on your head, what would it say?
Again, I'd have to watch TV. I'd have to know what you're talking about,
Oh,
all that
that's the
crap. I don't,
only answer. That's the only answer.
yeah, sorry. I
I am
don't.
really, I'm like becoming more and more amazed at how many decorators don't know anything about Harry Potter.
I like to go to the Disney one and have the butter beer. Does that help?
Okay, so I'll describe to you this because it needs an answer, but
Okay.
now I know you have no knowledge of Harry Potter. Like you've heard the name, but you don't know anything about it.
I
Is
can
that
decorate for it. There's lightning bolts, there's an owl, there's like this Orby thing with some wings.
which don't buy lightning bolts off of Amazon because they don't float, by the way. At
No, they
least the
don't.
ones that I just got do not float.
They're too small.
They don't even hold air. Like I inflated some with air like recently, and then we had like 18 of them. Every single one of them was down by the time we got to the job.
Wow.
So I'm actually returning balloons on Amazon, which I've never done. Okay, so you have 4 houses. Gryffindor are like the not I'm gonna say like goody two shoes, like they would be like the lions, like the good boys, Captain America types, right? Then you have Slytherin, who are the opposite. They care more about power than anything else. You have Hufflepuff, which are very laid back, fun loving, and you have Ravenclaw that are more serious minded. They like
One or
power.
three.
What's that?
I'd be one or three.
You'd be Gryffindor or Hufflepuff.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. I dig it. But I'm like, so I've asked that question to every guest designer, and I think you're like the fifth or sixth one now who doesn't know what I'm talking about.
I mean, I have some general knowledge, but
Okay.
it's just never been important to me.
Since you're going to be at Summit, we will rebuild our friendship. We'll
Okay,
start
great.
over. And Leah, like movies,
Thank you, Leah. High five, girl.
and you have kids. Your kids haven't watched them either, I guess, or enough. Like, okay.
So I'm also ADHD. So you almost lost me on the explanation. I couldn't imagine watching a 3-hour movie. Like, I actually had an anxiety attack riding with my husband on a motorcycle because I can't communicate with him. I couldn't make a list. I couldn't do anything, and I just couldn't calm my mind down enough to enjoy the moment. Like I am all go all the time until I stop and go to sleep.
So how do you I mean, and we don't have to talk about this if you don't want to, but I'm curious, like what things do you do to manage that so it doesn't cause you actual big time problems?
Continue to do all the things. And then to unwind, I go out in the yard and I have some fruit trees I've been watering and mow the grass, spray the weeds. I like to be outdoors, is my
Okay.
unwind.
All right. Cool. Okay, so we have a few more minutes. If anybody wants to ask a question of Miss Tabitha, I did not ask her what her deepest, darkest secret is, so that's still on the table for any of you to ask. Here's what we're gonna do. You're going to unmute yourself or raise your hand or let me know you want to ask a question. And then I need to hear something that you're grateful for, and then you can ask Tabitha her question. So it would be like, hi, I'm Jonathan. I'm grateful for
Your wife.
my wife, my lovely, beautiful, smoking hot wife. And Tabitha, my question is, what's your deepest, darkest secret? That would be how it goes. Okay. And then, yeah, we'll see if anybody has any questions. Otherwise, this is going to end up on your guest designer page, which, by the way, if you guys haven't seen her designs, they're really good. And I'm creating a crawfish boil, or it could also be like a lobster boil, right? Kind of a thing.
I don't think people boil lobsters. We'll have to ask Bree at Summit, but I think
I
they
know
still.
that they do get boiled. I don't know if they go in pots the same way. Like when I was a little kid, it was kind of like a memory I have of them boiling a lobster in my house. So, and I'm pretty sure, and man, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was like squealing. That's why it was a memory. Like not a pleasant memory. So, all right, well, it doesn't look like we have any questions. So, hello, Miss Shanita. Thank you guys for coming. We have a lot of stuff as far as the Balloon Guild goes. Like you can still ask questions. I'm gonna talk about the Balloon Guild for a little bit before we jump off. Um, we have some really fun, super cool ideas that we are developing that might take a little while. Very excited. I can't wait to where we can get to a place where we can share them. But this month alone, we have put out 20 pieces of material. So we taught a class on how to build an X-weave wall. I'm going to share my screen and just show you guys some stuff. Ba-da, ba-da, ba.
I'm
Just so,
grateful for everybody.
what's that?
This is Cynthia. I'm grateful for all of my balloon friends.
Yes, ma'am. Do you have a question for Tabitha, or you just want to share how
I
grateful
want to know what's in that container in the back.
This photo was from a bridal show. And I made little bubbles for the back of their station.
Oh, that's
And
a picture?
yeah,
You go, girl.
see how pretty? It was the most least distracting photo I could find, unlike Jonathan Gerber.
Thank you, Jonathan, for the opportunity.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm happy to see you here. Yeah, so this month we taught a wall on how to build an X-weave balloon wall. If you click on this banner on the homepage, it'll take you to a 3-color X-weave wall, which I've also created for you guys. And you can click on this button for the tutorial. It'll take you to our YouTube video for the tutorial. You can go into the Canva template and you could change all the colors if you wanted to for yourself. So we have also, like I said, Miss Tabitha has been very generous and has given us, right now I have 4 different ones, a round foil wall, how she builds different bases. There's a few different ways in there that she builds bases. Biplane, and then this fancy star ball topper, which is kind of a really cool design.
You
Goes
can
on.
use that as a ornament during Christmas, and you can use that in your football colors and use it for ceiling decor to add a different texture. There's lots of uses for it, and it's pretty.
Yes, it was a cool thing. I also, this wall right here, I'm very excited about because I want to build it. And I'm really surprised I've never seen one. This is just using an X-weave wall pattern, just like so again, there's a link to the video. But this, I mean, I started playing with Chris Adamo's program and I wanted to do something like this. And then I realized it looked like a soccer ball. So I edited off the corners and I could totally see this for like a soccer themed birthday party or something like that. So anyways, that's another
I did
one.
that wall, but in black and red for a casino theme.
Right on. Yeah, and then you could put the I could see the suit balloons on there. So for those of you who like balloon twisting, I did put a few more designs. You notice they're also on here individually. We're redoing some of our searchability features on our website. And what happened is it messed up the file that I had where I was putting all of these designs in one file. So I separated them out. So that's why we have all of these here. This one here is the one, if you don't know how to twist balloon animals, but you want to learn, you can start with this one and it'll teach you every balloon twisting technique that you're going to use to make all of these other balloons. And for a starter balloon person, these balloons are pretty great. I taught over 200 people how to twist balloon animals for a living. And these are the same ones I started with every single time. And these are better than some of the people who came to me talking about they know how to do balloons already. So I know that John has also created this balloon backdrop pricing Canva template where you can go in and edit this for yourself with your own prices, which is pretty great. This is something I think we're going to do more of because it'll help you guys with regards to marketing and designing things that you can share with your customers. So like I said, lots of recipes, a class, this backdrop. There's been a lot. By the end of this week, there will be 21 items that we have added to our website, which is insane when you break it down to how many dollars you paid for your subscription. So hopefully you guys are feeling that we are intentionally adding a lot and trying to get a lot done to grow this company. If anybody has any questions about any of this stuff or where things are going, you should be on our Facebook group. You can ask us in there. You can always message me. I'm sure Tabitha is an awesome person, so I'm sure you can message her if you have any questions for her that you didn't want to share in the group. Let's see, Nicole.
Can I ask a question?
Yes. What are you grateful for? And then you can ask a question.
All right. This is Chris Potts, and I'm grateful for somehow getting into this balloon industry where the people are just so amazing. They're so friendly and giving. and it's just I'm really thankful for that. A lot of people are cutthroat, but this industry seems to be very friendly, and I love going to conventions and meeting everybody.
You're also going to be at Summit, right?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Very
Love
excited
you,
about that.
Chris.
Yeah. Hey, Cynthia. So I've got a question for Tabitha now. I've noticed that lately, all of your organic pieces, it's kind of like your signature move now is putting these like Linkaloon, Q-Link type beads on all of your stuff. Did you like it? It looks amazing. Now, what's kind of like your recipe for that? Do you do big ones? I've seen big and small. Do you put a certain number on them? Do you do it for every one of your organic? I just love that you have kind of your style.
Thanks. I got inspired by another artist and I really love it. So every time I get an opportunity, I'm like, oh, we could do this. And basically to calculate it, like if your backdrop's 10 foot, I'll charge them for a 12-foot strand and maybe an 11-foot strand and maybe another 12-foot. So you have some play. So it'll um lay. And then anywhere from 2 to 3 foot for the little dangly pieces is a good idea. I like the 6-inch because they're dainty and pretty. But it's been a lot of fun. I enjoy that technique. Thanks for noticing.
Yeah, no, good. And I think we're gonna take that, and that's gonna be one of our signature moves now. So thanks for the help with that. All right.
Absolutely.
It's
I'm
that
charging
Semper
probably
Tech.
$2 a linear foot. What are you guys charging for linking?
Usually $3 a balloon, $5 if it has a collar with it.
Yeah, that's uncollared. So
Yeah,
like the 12-foot strand, I charge somebody 24 bucks and I'd write up however many it is.
yeah, yeah. That's how we do the pricing on our walls. Yep.
Cool. I did see that Sempertex just came out with a lot more colors in their links, so that's kind of a good thing right on time. Because the
And
color selection has gone down recently for a lot of these balloons.
also Sempertex, or well, Vitalic has some 36-inch stars out. That's new too.
Okay.
And so that's good to know since Qualitex is going down. That Sempertex is stepping up to fill that void for that particular product.
Yeah, there's a handful of balloons that I feel like the industry is going to really miss until someone decides to take over making them.
For the columns this weekend, do you remember when Q made those tapers that had a pattern on them, like purple with purple swirls and stars and gold with gold
Yes.
swirls and stars? We're using those, and I was like, be very gentle with them. The company's gone. I don't get those ever again.
Yeah, we had to start looking at our upcoming jobs. Like we have some jobs that are using a lot of robin's egg blue. And they told you I'm like 80% Sempertex, but I'm gonna have to look for what company can replace a very few handful of colors.
Calisan, Holland Museo said Calisan Caribbean blue is a very close robin's egg blue.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna look through some of these now. So there was one more question from Nicole B, who said she's at work, so she can't speak. She's grateful that her husband is so supportive of her endeavors. Sounds just like your husband, which is awesome. Her question is, how do you keep yourself from following trends and buying a bunch of stuff like backdrops, a bubble house, etc.?
I kept myself from buying it because I know I don't want to set it up and clean it. I don't have the staff that will do it. So, and I've heard insurance is very expensive. And for those items and backdrops, I have vendor friends that will allow me to add their product to my invoice for my client. And I mark it up 28.5%, 25% plus the credit card fee. And so my client gets what they want. I make a little bit of money and I didn't have to touch it. That's how I do that.
Okay. So you subcontract some of that stuff out.
Yeah.
Right on. Okay.
Now I am looking at maybe purchasing lighting because the uplighting is not heavy. It doesn't take up a lot of room. It adds a lot of value to my balloon decor. So I'm looking at investing in that.
So when it comes to uplighting, I bought some, the PAR battery operated can lights, but
Yeah.
they're the slim ones. I think I had to pay like $200 a piece for those,
Yeah.
so they were very pricey, and I cannot rent them out for more than $25 a piece, which means I have to rent them out, each one of
8
them, 8
times.
times
Yeah.
just to break even. And
Right.
I know that I have, but they're also beat up, and for me, I don't think I would do that again for those specific ones because they cost too much compared to the rent value of them. And then people, I don't know how they get beat up, but they just do. I mean, I'm literally putting it in place and I should be the next one touching it to leave it, but they get abused somehow. So if you're checking out lighting, I would just be mindful of like, what do the DJs in your area charge for the kind of lights that you want to get? And then is it worth buying? It might be, you might be happy with 8 rentals is going to equal, balancing an investment. Now you have the product. So every time we rent them now, it's profitable, $25 a piece, and they are easy to bring. I just don't like how beat up they are.
Do you have the case for them?
I have a carrying bag, yes. That they
Well,
cut
the ones that I was
that has
looking at,
distributions.
the company had them on sale, where you get the case, the charging case also. So you just plug in the case and they plug into the
Oh.
case.
That sounds pretty cool. I'd be interested to see what those are. But to answer your question, Nicole, she said that she networks with other vendors. She keeps the client, she subs out part of the job. You become that person's client, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we do that with Alpha Lit for the metal letters with the lights in it.
Mm-hmm.
We book them all the time, but
Mm-hmm.
we are their customer. They
Mm-hmm.
show up to our customer's job to set them up. I'm not giving customers away. And
Mm-hmm.
we make a little bit off of it.
What do you
Uh,
mark yours up at? Do you mind sharing?
I would have to look at our numbers. My general rule of thumb is a ballpark around 20%. I want to make 20% off of me selling somebody else's stuff.
Okay, good.
But I'm not sure if that's what we're doing or not because I don't look at our pricing and our books the same anymore. Just because of how I work. So okay, but Nicole, that is definitely a trap a lot of people can get in. That bubble house you're talking about that blows the balloons into a big circle, I've been very tempted to buy one of those, and I'm kind of glad that I haven't because I can't imagine what a pain it would be to clean. And it's not, I just remind myself that's not the job that I have. So,
I'll
okay, well,
subcontract it all day long, make a little money off of it, and never touch it.
all right. Well, Tabitha, thank you so much. You didn't think you could go an hour, and it's been like an hour and 9 minutes now. So,
Well, you're nice to talk to, so thank you for making me more comfortable.
well, I appreciate you and look forward to seeing you at Summit. And I think somebody else was saying something too. All right. Well, everybody, I will see you on Facebooks and in the social medias, and hopefully I'll see you guys at Balloon Boss Summit in November. All right. Thank you guys. Have a good one.